The Monday, December 16th meeting of the Montpelier Design Review Committee. We will let members and staff introduce themselves.
Martha Smirsky, member.
Rebecca Owens, member.
Meredith Crandall, staff.
Stephen Everett, member. At this point, Meredith can review the remote meeting procedures and process.
All right. So as most of you are aware, most of this is now for people who might be watching via ORCA. But there's a little bit in here, Danielle, that will be new to you. So for anyone viewing tonight's design review committee meeting via ORCA Media, you can participate in the design review committee discussion via the Zoom platform through either video or telephone access options. You can either type this link into your web browser, or you can call this phone number, and when prompted, put in this meeting ID. And if you use either one of those options, I will get a notification to let you into tonight's Zoom meeting so that you can participate in full. If someone is trying to get into the meeting and having problems, please email me at mcrandall@montpelier-vt.org. I will be monitoring my email throughout the meeting. For everyone attending via Zoom, turning your video on is optional. And we also ask that you please keep your microphone on mute when you're not speaking. This will help reduce background noise. A reminder that the Zoom chat function should only be used for troubleshooting or logistics questions. Any questions or comments about items on the agenda should be made verbally. All we have on tonight is an applicant. There's no members. There's no members of the general public. So I'm going to skip some of my usual spiel here. And note just that in the event the public is unable to access tonight's meeting, and I would get notification of that via my email, the meeting will need to be continued to a time and place certain. I will now hand the meeting back over to the chair.
Unless anyone else has anything to offer at this point, can I do any members make a motion to approve the agenda?
Steve, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. This is Martha.
Okay.
I will second the motion.
All in favor of the agenda, speak your names.
Rebecca.
I think Martha did. She
Martha
just
did.
muted.
Yes.
Yeah. You did. There's so few people on. As long as you don't have like noisy backgrounds and stuff, I think you guys can just stay unmuted. There's only 3 of you on remotely. I don't think you guys are going to be talking over each other too much.
Yes. And I also approve the agenda as well. So we can move forward to the first applicant for 107 State Street, applicant Danielle Murphy, regarding a new wall sign.
So Danielle, you can just describe what the project is. So yeah, Danielle Murphy is the only one on remotely. And if you want me to share my screen to show people, I can. They have all gotten the application, and so have been able to see what you're talking about.
Okay, so my application is for an exterior wall sign for my business. It's, I believe, 18 inches by 95 inches. Ah, thank you. Is that your screen or my screen?
Here.
Yeah,
I
that
just
would be
didn't
great.
share.
Thank you. It's 3/4 inch white PVC. And it's supposed to sit about an inch off of the building underneath the Earl and Freeman sign that is currently there. Is there anything else that I should say?
No, it's a good representation of your sign. And again, you're showing a border with a 1/4 inch chamfer, and I'm assuming there's a pinstripe painted around the border.
That brown is the paint there.
Yeah, so there is like a pinstripe around the edge here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
when you have the sign made, take a look at that pinstripe. From a distance, it may be a quarter inch, may be a little small, but you have certainly the option to make that larger, half inch, 3/4. And again, from a distance, it will stand out, but you may want to take a look at the width of it.
Okay.
And again,
Yeah.
that's an option totally up to you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, the other thing I had thought about was maybe making it green instead of brown. But
Either one would be fine. The darker the color, the more it'll stand out against the brick. So
yeah, that's what I was
you
thinking.
could make the border green, and again, you could make it a little wider.
Hmm.
And considering the distance, the lettering size looks fine. But again, that's being read mostly from a distance since the building is set back.
Yeah.
Do any other members have any questions or comments or suggestions regarding the sign?
Yeah, Danielle, it's not going to keep me from approving your sign, but it seems very, very white to me. It kind of jumped out at me, especially against the Earl and Freeman sign. I wondered if you had thought about any less bright color.
I did not, I guess because that is my intention for it to be bright and stand out.
Okay.
So the contrast I thought would help. And that was the suggestion of one of the sign people, was to have white in contrast to the black. And you probably can't see it on here. I did include a picture of the whole building with my application. Because there's also a faux capital sign right over there that's white.
Which is white. Yes, I recognize
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
Well, that's just my comment.
Okay.
And the other question is the white a paint or is that the PVC color?
That is the PVC color. Yeah, it is the PVC color. And you have to excuse me because I don't know sign manufacturing very well, but the sign person told me that also corrected me that the lettering is not paint, but is as a print.
Okay.
I don't know what the difference is, but
And the only other comment would be that the white PVC should be a matte or a flat
yes,
white
he did.
color as opposed to a glossy, only because it faces south. So any sun shining, if it were to be glossy, the sun shining on it would be really, really bright.
Okay. Yes, he did say it was matte.
Oh, okay, good.
So that's good though, because I didn't really know that that was important.
The softer the white, the easier to read the lettering.
You mean with the matte? Makes
With
it
the matte,
softer?
yes. The matte is a much better, certainly in its south facing direction.
Okay.
If no one else has any other questions, I can go through the criteria for signs in the design control district. Number 1, the size, location, design, color, texture, lighting, and material of all exterior signs within the design review district shall be compatible with the building and structures of the site and surrounding properties. This one's acceptable. Where appropriate, signing shall respect the original sign placement and sign bands on historic structures. This one's acceptable in its location beneath another existing sign. If a building has multiple tenants, there shall be consistency in placement and size among all signs. Acceptable. It is recommended that sign placement be centered over building entries. And in this location, it's off to the side, but in the location where the where the occupant is, and that's acceptable. Sign installation shall minimize damage to character defining materials on the building. That's acceptable, and it's noted that the sign will be installed into the mortar seam with concrete anchors. And again, that follows in the next criteria, which is in masonry buildings. Fasteners shall be in the mortar joints. Sorry. That term.
We chatted too much before the meeting.
Sorry for the interruption. Sign design, color, and typography shall respect historic precedents where appropriate and shall be the appropriate scale for existing and new buildings acceptable. Sign support structures shall be compatible with the building architecture and must not be overly complex or dominant in and of themselves, also acceptable. And that's all the criteria that applies. And do I hear all in favor of the sign as per the application? Speak your names.
This is Martha. With my comments, I do say yes.
Okay.
This is Rebecca, and I'm a yes.
And Steve says yes as well. So his vote is 3 in favor. And do you want to describe the next step for her?
So Danielle, because there were no recommended tweaks, there's some suggestions and some options, but there's no actual recommendations for things they really want you to change. We should be able to get this permit issued tomorrow. Do you want us to email you when it's ready, or do you want us to just mail it?
Yeah, if you want to, you mean if you email it to me, I can come pick it up. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
you can just email me.
Okay,
That'd be great.
great. And there'll be a like a poster board, like a anyway, cardstock thing in there
Okay.
that'll be for posting in the window. That's for 15-day appeal period. And then as well as a copy of the permit. But yeah, we will email you when it's ready and you can come pick it up.
So I put it in the window for 15 days before I put the sign up, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean it's more important with bigger changes to a structure. Anything you do in that 15-day appeal period is basically at your own risk. If somebody were to appeal the approval, ultimately you might have to like undo something, but I can't imagine anybody appealing the sign. So
Okay.
we're not going to
Thank
tell
you.
you that it's like you cannot put anything up in that window. We don't go around and enforce that ourselves. We kind of leave that up to neighbors.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Thank you for coming
Thanks,
before
Danielle.
the committee, and good luck with your project and your occupancy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The meeting minutes from 11:18 really can't be addressed because there are only 2 people who were at the meeting and we need 3 to approve. So we'll move that to the next meeting.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other business at this time?
Not for me.
Okay. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for January the 6th. And if nobody has anything else to add, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
This is Martha. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
This is Rebecca. I will second the motion.
All in favor of adjournment, speak your names.
Martha?
Rebecca?
And Stephen, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Okay.
See you in the new year.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.